getting held up, Ryan, right at the top of the keyhole turn. May be able to get him. Oh, and big time. Pintaric cannot get around. Four cars in front of him. Fix has got a bunch of that back. There's only a turn between them. Tom Michael, when it comes into your view, Paul Fix is making up a ton of ground on Pintaric. Absolutely. Right now, Pintaric had to back off behind one of the Giudettas. Just now, Paul Fix.
This is my backyard. I first started racing here 15 years ago last weekend. We estimate I've got anywhere between 1,200 and 1,500 laps here. Winning here, especially in Trans Am, would be a phenomenal thing for me. It would make me cry.
This is my home track. I've been coming here since like 1981. My uncle brought me here when I was 14, and I came to a Trans Am race. That was the first race I ever came to.
This is called the S's. See how you loop through.
We love coming to Mid-Ohio. We want to shine here. We have tons of laps here. The crew has laps here. The driver has laps here. We know every nook and cranny of this place.
We've been involved in the Trans Am series since David decided to do that. At a dinner one night, we sat down and discussed everything, and Trans Am looked like the best bet for him. That's the way we went.
I want people to consider me a racer. Right now, I think I'm just a guy driving a race car. I want to win a championship. I ask myself, if I win one, will I be satisfied? I don't know. Trans Am is the longest professional road racing series in North America. It started in 1966. Got quite the history.
First in class and a remarkable fourth against the powerful GT machines and prototype cars.
It was really, really awesome. And then it kind of went through a difficult time. SCCA kind of lost interest in it or lost support of it, and it sort of just languished. Now I think there's a fantastic set of people steering the ship, great officials who are, most of them are fantastic drivers on their own right, and we're seeing that attract more and more drivers. Trans Am 2 has brought in a whole new group of guys that would maybe have never even thought of Trans Am. Right now, if I was looking for a pro racing thing to do, this is where I'd be.
What is a Trans Am car? It's a tube frame car built very similar to a NASCAR stock car. Carbon fiber body.
We get to set up the car the way we want it. We got to play within certain confines, but you know, we can do a lot of different stuff with the car within those rules.
We joke, but it's the truth. The only parts that come from General Motors in our car is the taillights. The motor is an SB2 Chevy we get from the NASCAR shops. They make about 850 horsepower. The transmission is an X-Track. It's a Ford 9-inch rear end. It's what they call stick rear end. There's not any driver's aid, which I like that.
Most forms of racing, they like the technology too much, and they don't look at how it affects the end game. And so here we kept a lot of that stuff out. By that I mean driver aids, anti-lock brakes, traction control, things like that. The most technically advanced cars at any given racetrack are out in the parking lot. So here, you go faster, but the driver is a bigger component of it.
Trans Am is definitely the most powerful, ground-pounding, fast series on a road course in America.
This is about old school driving, right? Elbows up, burning rubber, sliding around.
Charge the corner, brake at the last moment.
There's never really a dull moment.
This is American road racing. It's a very raw car. There's not a lot of sophistication to it, which I like that.
You have to keep driving these things till you shut them off. I mean, they will get your attention. You can use too much throttle almost anywhere. The brake zones come up really quickly. To be really good at it, you just don't ever really rest.
You have to be on it all the time. It's an aggressive person's car to drive.
We unloaded very, very fast. The car was definitely second or third fastest, but you can't take that for granted because the other guys aren't here all the time. So it takes them a few sessions to catch up with us. So we need to continue to get quicker as well.
So watch what happens. You get into about the apex and watch what you do with your hands. You add more steering. You're doing that to slow the car. You're really not trying to get the car to point differently. You've just developed this unconscious talent of using the understeer that makes you so comfortable to slow the car more. I don't think that's bad, but I think that tells me that you've got good control of your entry speed. You're just using the front tires to slow the car down instead of the brake pedal.
I think we're going to need a low 21 for the pole, and I think a track's going to be there.
And I think where you need to get it.
And I know where, and I think I can get it. Qualifying sets the tone because those who are fast are going to be at the front of the pack.
Qualifying's tough. You have 3 or 4 laps when your tires are at their best. After that, you're probably not going to get your fastest lap or the fastest lap you could have. So you have to really be at the right place on the racetrack, the right spacing. You don't want to get behind somebody slower because you can't go any faster. You're going to run them over. And you don't want to be watching your mirrors all the time because somebody's faster behind you. It's really you against the track.
These cars are basically a top fuel dragster that can barely turn corners too. So really, the good Trans Am driver knows how to take a road course like Mid-Ohio and turn it into a series of straightaways with little itty bitty corners in between.
I can definitely see when things aren't working. You watch his times and they're not getting faster. It's like, well, we're just wasting fuel and tires. Let's just come in and change something, work on something.
I think we're pretty close on target, but I just want to narrow it down a little bit more. A couple tenths of a pound here and there.
We're talking tenths of a pound. That's...
Yeah. Well, I'd like to get a little closer than we were.
We made a mistaken setup as far as tire pressures. I think that's what caused us a 6th place qualifying position. I was very disappointed that I really wanted the pole.
We qualified 6th, which I don't like for a few reasons. One, we start on the outside. I've raced here enough, and I know David knows there's not a lot of grip going on the outside of the end of the back straight. It's pretty gravelly out there. A lot of marbles from the tires.
David has sat on a pole, but he has not won a race yet, which is sort of something that is eating at all of us. We know he's capable of doing it. We know the team is capable of doing it. He is knocking at the door. Most of this crew has been around long enough to have seen David develop over time, to see the team develop over time. All of us want that first win.
I'm going to give Trans Am as hard as I can an effort. I'm going to go at it as hard as I can. And if I don't have the success that I want, I'll be disappointed, but I would be more disappointed if I didn't go at it 100%.
Trans Am was just like, go for it. No fuel stops, no tire stops, 100 miles, run hard as you can, see if you can't win.
It's difficult, and you're competing with 15 to 20 other people who want the same thing that you want. Being able to beat them, it's a rare thing, but it's a cool thing.
there is a battle brewing there between the 4th and 5th place cars. David Pintaric now in 4th or 5th, right behind him. On the first lap, David Pintaric holding off a challenging Paul 6 for 4th.
Keep going, David. We're going to probably get a full course, so just keep pushing. Push, push, push.
It gets held up big time. Pintaric cannot get around. The two comes up just about a car length shy of coming up into 4th position after the end of the race. So Ernie Francis Jr., your winner for the 4th time on.
There's no sport, to me, that has the ups and downs so quickly. When you fail to win when you have the best car, you can just think about it for a long time.
We finished 4th, another 4th place finish. Disappointing, wanted definitely podium, really want to win one of these. I'm happy the car's in one piece, but I'm sad, I'm bummed out. I wanted more out of this. It's tough, this is not easy. These kind of weekends make the rest of the life kind of boring. You know, it's a different world. You know, you kind of walled off from the rest of the world, where you start, you know, 3 days of work and culminating in a race that just wears you out. 100 miles at this pace is very demanding physically. There's going to be a day I'm going to be on my deathbed, and it's like, okay, I'm going to look at my life, and there's a fear that I'm losing the talent that I had in club racing, or even greater fear is I maybe never was that good in the first place. That fear is motivating. You know, I have this theory that we're made to be hunters. 2,000 years ago, we hunted to stay alive. This is my hunting. This fulfills my spiritual need for the challenge of life. I'm not giving up.